Thank you very much. My job here today is to introduce our featured speaker, Joe Minerick. But before I do that, I want to thank our partners. I want to thank Bob Brown. I want to thank the Southeast Regional Coalition of Business Councils for partnering with us today. I want to thank Press Kapikoff, a longstanding CED trustee, for your support and hospitality. My name is Mike Petro, and by the way, Bob, thanks for saying that I was smart. I usually don't get that, but when you work at a think tank, it's nice to be called smart. But I wanted to tell you just a little bit about the Committee for Economic Development. CED is a business-led public policy organization. We're comprised of over 200 business leaders from across the country. We provide a nonpartisan, unbiased perspective on policy. We engage the business community across the country around domestic and foreign policy issues. CED has a 70-year-old history. We have our roots in the Marshall Plan. In fact, CED was first formed in the 1940s when there were discussions about how to move the economy from a wartime to a peacetime economy. And one of our very first policy studies became the inspiration for the Marshall Plan. In fact, Paul Hoffman, CED's first chairman, was the first administrator of the Marshall Plan, and Paul Hoffman was the CEO of Studebaker, which I know you're probably wondering, I'm way too young to have remembered what the Studebaker was, but it was a car company. And so we've had this rich history, really, of engaging business around issues of the day. What we've been engaged in this last several months is really an engagement tour, if you will, with local and regional business groups around the fiscal health of the nation. Joe's comments today are going to be at times depressing, but it's important that we talk as a business community about what the budget deficits mean to not only the economy but communities across the country. Joe and I have worked together for about 6+ years. He is the Senior Vice President and Director of Research at the Committee for Economic Development. He serves on 2 national commissions committed to reducing the national budget deficit, including the Bipartisan Policy Center's Debt Reduction Task Force and the National Academy of Sciences, our Fiscal Future project. Joe is very instrumental in the Rivlin-Domenici Commission and has been, you may have seen him on in some of the cable talk shows, C-SPAN, CNBC as well. Joe was the chief economist of the Office of Management and Budget for 8 years under the Clinton administration, helping to formulate the administration's program to eliminate the budget deficit, which evolved into the Bipartisan Balanced Budget Act of 1997. Prior to his service in the Clinton administration, Joe served as the chief economist of the House Budget Committee and worked closely with Senator Bill Bradley on reforming tax policy, later publishing Making Tax Choices. Now, last night, Joe described himself as at the extreme center in the political spectrum, which I think is which shows how fair it reflects his fairness and his openness to policy debates and how he comes to them. What you don't know about Joe is that he loves race cars, classical music, and his favorite movie is Blazing Saddles. And if you remember that film, you will listen for every so often a little vignette about that movie. So now it's my pleasure and honor to introduce my colleague, Joe Minerick. Thank you.